All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we're doing The Polar Express. On Christmas Eve, a young boy embarks on a magical adventure to the North Pole on the Polar Express while learning about friendship, bravery, and the spirit of Christmas. This movie has a 56% critic score and a 64% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Came out in 2004, rated G. Andrew, what did you think? What do you think of this movie? Is it a Christmas classic?
I think it is. And I just said before we started this review that I watch the Polar Express like every year. It's one of those ones that I just like to watch around Christmas time. I think for me, certain people have their movies that just kind of give them like that feel. This movie reminds me of elementary school, like Christmas party, last day before you're let out for like Christmas break in K through 12. So it makes me feel cozy. It makes me feel warm. The whole idea, they've got when they're on the train, the hot chocolate, having some hot chocolate, watching this. I don't do that every year, but I might have to start doing that every year to add it to the tradition. I think this is absolutely a Christmas classic. A little disappointed in those
Did you ever play
scores.
the game?
I didn't even know there was a game.
Yeah, there's a Polar Express game. I think it was on PS2.
How does that
And
even work? What do you do?
I know Tom Hanks' brother did the voice for like the characters that his brother plays in the movies.
Okay.
I remember a lot of it, like running on top of the train. I remember when you're running around the North Pole, like little things like that. I don't remember the game completely, but I did play it. And this movie that then became a video game is based off a book, which I didn't know till today.
I didn't know that until right this second, actually.
Yeah. So it's based off a book, and I believe the person that wrote it, I don't know his name offhand.
I'm surprised I'd never
I
heard
think
of that.
I think it's maybe Chris Van Allsburg. I don't know if that's the writer for the movie and the book, or just the movie. But anyways, he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is mentioned in this movie.
Yeah, they do mention that.
Which is why like the main character, the main kid, is from there. So I think that's cool. Yeah, the reason we wanted to do this movie is because Andrew watched it every year, and it's the 20th anniversary for it. Came out 2004, so it's been 20 years.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of
I'm
that.
looking at the pictures of this movie when it first came out. They definitely did a remaster on Hulu/Disney Plus because now it's like a darker, where this is like a different, like a worse. I don't know how to explain it. Worse looking version of Toy Story, which I know Toy Story's older. Okay, so the big gripe on this movie is the animation style.
It's scary if you're
Right.
an adult. But if you're a kid, who cares?
Yeah, as a kid, I remember it being kind of odd, but like you don't really mind it at
You
all.
just
It didn't bother
embrace
me
it.
at all. Yeah, but as an adult, it is
It
just kind of weird.
It has definitely showing its age. Cannot disagree with that. And considering, it didn't come out in, 1985, like this came out in 2004 when we had Toy Story 1 and 2 had already come out. I think Monsters Inc. had come out. Incredibles did or was about to.
Yep.
So like it now keeping like those are Pixar films, so they're kind of known for their animation. This isn't a Pixar film. But like I guess where I'm going with this is the technology was out there to make it better. I don't know, maybe Tom Hanks was really expensive at the time to be a voice actor. He was kind of, in demand for his voice acting.
Well, yeah, this is Warner Brothers' first computer animated movie ever, which is pretty cool. Now, I didn't know this. It's the acting in this movie is mocapped.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, so like it
Yeah,
really is Tom Hanks, holding a radio, talking to the kids on the train, like dancing around. Like it is him, but it's just animated. So
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, I was, and I guess that's another thing is I can't say they paid Tom Hanks. Maybe they did pay him a lot because he's like every single uh, character
Yeah, he plays 7 different characters.
in the damn movie. You get
Which
real
I never
familiar.
picked that up as a kid. I knew it was Tom Hanks. I knew
I
Tom
didn't
Hanks was in
either.
the movie, but I never picked that up
I
that he
didn't
was
either,
70
which is kind
characters.
of crazy that I didn't. Like, oh, this seems kind of familiar. This guy's voice. But I
But
did
you
not
can hear it
either.
from the main character's dad. You can hear him at the beginning of the movie. It sounds just like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he's
Never
got a.
noticed that.
He's although I think he's a little controversial now. Um, he made some possible questionable visits in his life, but I think he has a calming voice in the movie.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think that's what kind of allured me to it a bit more as a kid. Like I said, I don't know the whole idea. We did a thing. I think it was in elementary school where we watched the movie and we drank hot cocoa and then we all got like a bell.
Yeah,
If you could hear this. So I
yeah,
think again, I think that's why it's just so ingrained in my head that it brings like a little bit of comfort. Um, like from the standpoint of like its animation and its storyline, it is cheesy. But for me personally, I enjoy it.
So do you think he gets a lot of hate just because the animation style, or do you think it's because it might be cheesy? Like, what
I
do you
think it's
think?
probably a mix of the animation style and honestly the fact that maybe he is voicing 7 different people.
Yeah,
Like, why didn't not even him, but like, why didn't you guys get anyone else? Like, why do we have the same voice? But if you're a
yeah,
kid, like we just said, you don't really notice it, or at least I
yeah.
didn't. Maybe I was a moron kid. I don't know. Maybe I'm still a moron. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it comes down to that stuff, but I don't know. I would say it's definitely a Christmas movie classic, but I feel like it just gets dogged on compared to the like the Grinch or other
Yeah, Home Alone,
Rudolph.
the
Yeah, Home Alone,
The Christmas Story. I
The
hate that
Christmas
one.
Story, which is another classic.
Yeah, I don't like that
Um,
one.
yeah, and
Call
I
me a
know for
hater.
me personally, I don't hate the movie at all. But I don't watch it that often. The last time I've seen it was in
I
high school, and I think it's because we just turned it on in class.
Yeah, and I will say, um, I think I watch it every year.
You
I
own it
don't
in
hold.
4K.
I do own it. I do. I actually pulled it out. I do own it in 4K. Um, but I don't like hold myself to it. The year will be. I haven't watched it this year yet. The year will be okay if I don't watch it, but I think I probably will at some point. It's just a comfort one for me. Like I said,
Yeah, it's your
that
tower heist.
it's my tower heist, which we did a review on a while ago. That's Josh's favorite Thanksgiving movie. It's the only Thanksgiving movie we know. Um,
I just watched it last week.
it's crazy to call it a Thanksgiving movie anyway, but
It is.
yeah,
It is a Thanksgiving movie. I'm saying it's not crazy. Uh, yeah, I don't know why, but when I went into it, I at first thought the train was a dream because why would tracks be on the street? I realize it's a magical train, but I'm like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure at the end of this movie he wakes up and he's dreaming, but he does learn a lesson within the dream, and then I didn't even really remember them being in the North Pole as long as they were. I thought the North Pole they were there for like 10 minutes, but it is like
Oh
a
no,
good like 40-minute chunk of the movie
yeah,
them
it's
being
most of
there.
the movie.
Yeah, so I completely had forgotten about all that stuff until I watched it
I
today.
I I think that's the part of the movie that I actually kind of like the most is once they're off of the Polar Express.
Off the Polar Express. Okay.
Is the North Pole. It just seems so cozy and bright. I think the closest thing. I don't know if you've been to like Frankenmuth during the winter time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you're listening from Michigan, then you know what I'm talking about. But Frankenmuth during Christmas, if you can catch it, like if it snowed, oh, such a cozy feeling there. I think that's the closest we're getting to the Polar Express's North Pole here in real life, unless someone else
Probably.
says something else that I don't know about.
I I wanted to say too. I almost lost my train of thought there. Um, with the voice acting, I think Tom Hanks does a really good job. Uh, I like that the train constructor looks just like him to a T. Um, the one annoying fact of this movie, and this might be a reason some people don't like it, that annoying ass know it all kid who Tom Hanks might do the voice for him. Oh no, it's not. It's Eddie Deason that does it. Know it all. It's the kid's name. He is so annoying. So annoying. I can't deal with him. I'm trying to think. I was when I was watching this movie, I was like, what other kid did I hate? Or as a kid, what other characters have I hated this much? I think the only one I hated more might be Jar Jar Binks as a kid. I think those are the two most annoying characters. So every
To be
time he's on
honest,
screen,
like
and
now that we're
that's his role. That's what he's supposed to do.
yeah,
Is
but
annoy you.
honestly that Billy kid is annoying as shit too. I didn't like him either.
Oh, the one, yeah, the quiet kid.
The quiet kid, even though I
Yeah,
was a
lonely
quiet kid.
boy.
I don't know. I don't like him in the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
he wouldn't get off that cart.
yeah, you idiot. I'm just sitting there like, get off.
He's had some tough Christmases though.
Yeah, isn't he from
We
Kalamazoo? I think.
Yeah, and we never know what his gift is. I don't think.
No, we're gonna have to wait for the Polar Express 2, which supposedly they're making.
Are they actually?
Uh, Never mind. Oh wait, yes, the Polar Express
No.
2 is in development as of January 2024.
Wow.
There's
So that
no
could still be
announced.
happening.
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
Because if they said back in like 2018 that they're making one and it still hasn't come out yet, then you can assume it's
It
not happening.
has a. If it means anything, it has an IMDb
Page,
listing page.
which technically we could make.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We could.
But I mean, if there's rumors to that, and they mentioned it earlier this year, maybe on the 25th anniversary they dropped the second one. I don't know. But where would they go from there? Would it be a brand new kid? Probably yes. But
Mhm.
or it could be his kid. But the thing is like, do they go with that same style? Do they do something different, like animation wise? Like, what
I
do
would
they?
hope that they
I
would
feel like you
level
can't
up.
go away from it at that point, though.
Well, okay,
Well, the
so you got.
remaster looks different than what the original one looks like.
I would almost, yeah, I would have to see. I wonder what one this 4K one is when
It's
probably
got
the
to be
remaster.
the new one. It's got to be
Uh,
the remaster.
that's a shame.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at pictures of the OG one, and it looks different, like art
That's true.
style wise. It's
That's
a lot
truly
brighter than the
disappointing.
old ones.
Yeah, I bought that recently. Yeah, it's got the new Warner Bros. Logo on it. That's probably the new one.
But like the snow and
Lame.
like the footsteps and everything in the water, it looked like good for a 20-year-old movie. Again, I think it's just the way the characters look and the way they move is weird, but that's because they had the actors in mocap suits, I think.
You're
I
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
wonder
like, does
what.
Tom Hanks come back? I don't know if they did a second one. I'm shocked. I guess I'm not shocked, actually. That's
Yeah,
what studios do
I'm
now.
surprised he didn't check that out and bring that
No.
into this. Yeah, I'd heard that they might be developing a second one. Do I think there needs to be a second one? No. I'm not sure what exactly will happen there.
Would you go see it opening weekend?
I think I'd have to.
You'd have to, right?
Now I can't say that it would probably have that same effect that the first one did when I was, under 10 years old.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll see it. Yeah, maybe they'll announce it soon, coming out in 2025 or 6.
Well, so there was a huge thing, and it's in the movie trivia. The director, I think the studio wanted him to do a live action Polar Express, or that was the idea, at least before this movie was made. And he said instead of it costing 160 million, which is how much this movie cost to make, he said it'd be about $1 billion. Which I don't know if it'd be that much.
I don't know about all that.
But he said it'd be way more expensive, way harder to do it live action than, rather than doing animated. So that's why they went with an animated approach. They still
I could see
had the actors acting, but
So I can see where the budget could get heavy in the North Pole area because you might have to build out a proper set, but like the
But
train
the
car,
Claws did it.
yeah,
The Claws
and
trilogy.
yeah,
Fred Claus had it. We've seen movies do this. Elf.
we have. I think it just cost savings. It was cheaper at the time, and they wanted to probably try something. Like you said, this was their first animated film.
Right. And there's a moment where, and this took me out of the movie for a second. I never noticed this growing up. There's a moment where the three kids are spying on the elves, and their call comes in that a kid's naughty,
Mm-hmm.
and they show the kids on the TV and where they're
Yeah,
from or whatever. And the kids talking are actual like kids, like it's not animated. It's
yeah,
black. It's black and
yeah.
white.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't.
right.
Am I stupid? I never noticed. I go, wait, that's not even an animated kid. I couldn't believe it. Like it took me out of the movie for a second. I'm like, wait, what?
They're like, where can we save money? Okay, well, just throw this in black and white.
Yeah,
Put some real
make it on a
footage.
small screen.
Now that particular scene, I think, is really annoying because it just keeps replaying that kid. I'm not
Saying I'm
naughty,
sorry.
or what, or
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
sorry,
naughty.
whatever
Yeah.
the hell he's saying over and over and over again. It's
And then
ridiculous.
there's like a Napoleon-esque elf with
Yes.
this weird hat and armor. Yeah.
uh,
I'm like, is that a Napoleon fit?
it
A
is,
scene that sticks out to me, obviously one of them is the hot chocolate scene, but
of
another
course.
one as a kid was the ticket um, flying through the air. The eagle gets it. It becomes a snowball, rolls
Oh
down the hill.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about when he loses
the
her ticket?
wolves and the wolves
Yeah.
are running with the ticket.
Yeah. I
or
don't know
the
why, but that scene always stuck with me. That and
it's
the
an
hot chocolate scene.
it seems like unnecessary level of animation and like storytelling there for that
It follows
ticket.
it for like 3 minutes. This
and
ticket.
and it's not just drifting through the wind. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on while
Yeah.
this ticket is drifting away. So
And because she lost her ticket, she got to go up front where the engine room is, steer, drive, whatever you want to call it, the train. That's pretty cool. I think it's probably worth it that she lost her
now
ticket.
my complaint is why I think they say it. Why the hell did they climb on top of the train and not just go through the cars?
I don't know if they say it because
Okay.
on the way back to go to their seats, they walked through the train. They went through that
Yeah.
toy room of the.
It seems much
I don't
more
know.
logical to walk through said train than to try to travel on top of moving train in snow and ice.
Especially in their pajamas with their slippers
Can't
on.
can't understand why they would do that. Also, the whole idea of she doesn't have a ticket, so we got to throw her off the back.
Yeah.
That's some crazy work there. Um, Nothing we can do. Gonna have to just drop her. Hopefully she makes it. Can't even wait for the next stop. Or better yet, let her off at the North Pole and she just doesn't get back on. Nope.
Yeah.
Got to drop her off the 70-mile-an-hour moving train and hope she can land it.
Hope she can make it. And then the ghost guy, the angel, if you want to call him
Yes.
that. I always forget that his character's in this. Also, you can tell it was Tom
Really?
Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
why.
Yeah, so that one I feel like is one of the more obvious ones that it's like a replicated voice. Like you're like, wait a minute, that kind of sounds familiar. I do remember thinking that actually as a kid, like that this is a ghost of the train conductor. Like those two, I always connected. Not sure why I couldn't put anyone else together.
Yeah, I think I saw it a couple months ago where Tom Hanks does 7 voices or acts in 7 different roles in this movie, and I was like, "Oh, 7?" I thought it was like 1 or 2 or 3 or something. So I was
Yeah,
really this time around paying attention to see,
which
which
ones it
one's
is?
Tom Hanks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously too, he plays the narrator of the older
Yeah, yes,
version.
yes, yes.
Um, but what do you think of the kids not having actual names? There's Hero Boy, Hero Girl, Toothless Boy, Know It All, Smokey, Sister Sarah. I guess Sarah's name, and then Billy, but he also goes by Lonely Boy. So I drew that up in my head before remembering what the ending was. That it's a dream, so you don't really remember people's names.
Yeah,
Because I was convinced he was dreaming.
I think it kind of pulls you in a weird way into this, like the overall story a bit more.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm reaching here, um, because you can't really attach. I mean, I guess you kind of attach to the main boy in it, but not really. You're kind of there for the journey. I think it's
yeah,
supposed to make it feel like some of the angles sometimes they use too. Um, I feel like tries to put you in the perspective that you're actually there, making it a little bit special as a kid, like you're
yeah.
actually following along on the train. And you know, there's. I always wanted to know more about as when I was a kid. Like, there's other people on that train, and we don't we don't get to hear. I wanted to hear from more people. Um,
Right, and a couple of the kids we know are from Michigan. So are they all from Michigan?
yeah, any from
There's
the
not a lot of kids. I'd say there's maybe a dozen.
yeah. Does the Polar Express only go through Michigan? Yeah, maybe that's another reason that makes it a little special too. For me at least, makes me feel a little bit more at home here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I forgot that there's two
I
kids from Michigan in this way.
Yeah, I think I forget that every year. To be honest, I forget
Like, whoa,
about
Grand
that.
Rapids.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
Kalamazoo. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
there are some cool camera shots too. One of them is when he's on top of the train and he meets the angel who looks just like a hobo, right? Who's
Yeah.
just snuck onto the train. But there's some cool
Mhm.
like first person shots where he's like talking to him, or when he's trying to like walk through the snow.
Yes,
I think
which is
that's
what I
pretty
mean.
cool.
I think it's
Yeah,
supposed to make you feel like you're kind of there trudging through that cold.
right.
Um,
But
I don't know.
like 2004, I'm trying to think if there's any animated movies that did stuff like that. I don't think so. From my memory back then, I don't know.
Mm,
Maybe Monsters Inc. did it.
might have.
I don't know
I
why I
don't
feel like
remember.
Monsters Inc. did it. Yeah, I think
Feel.
Monsters Inc. did it when he walks in and he like reaches on the bed and the thing jumps out at him. I think he's the
Okay.
first person there. Besides that, I thought that was cool the way they did that in this movie because there's multiple scenes like that
Yeah.
where they will switch over, and I think that's like a cool thing to do, especially in a movie like this. So
Agreed.
yeah, and then I like the musical aspects as well. Um,
It's
I'm
not
not a
overdone.
huge yeah, I'm not a huge musical guy, especially in animated movies. But I think the way they do it in this movie, just because there's only a couple, I think it works really well.
I don't like the
Hot
Billy
chocolate
Kid's
scenes.
song. I don't like
You
his.
don't like it, huh? It's kind of
No.
sad.
Yeah. Don't
You
care.
still like Billy. I liked
I
Billy.
really don't. I don't like Billy. Not a big Billy fan. Um,
Yeah, but the know-it-all guy's the worst.
he is definitely the worst. He takes the cake there. There's no doubt about that. He's in, and you know what? They put him in yellow too, which is such a loud color as well. Like it's not meant to be. It's supposed to grab your attention and stand out. So I think that maybe that was intentional, maybe it wasn't. But he
Yeah.
is, not only annoying, but definitely stand out ish.
Yeah, so when I wear my glasses, I've been told I look like a couple different characters. One of them
Oh
from Meet the
no.
Robinsons. The other one is the kid from The Christmas Story. Uh,
Oof.
I got the dentist from Rudolph, but I have gotten the know-it-all from Polar Express, and that one is an insult to me.
That
The other
is
ones I don't care. It's fair. Go ahead, call me
pretty
that.
rough.
That one is rough, and then I say, is it because I'm annoying you? And they're like, well, no, it's just the way you look. I'm like, okay, that still hurts.
That's pretty bad, but
Yeah, yeah, that one's rough because I
that's
hate
tough.
this kid.
Yeah. I can see the Meet the Robinsons kid. That's a good movie.
Definitely,
Good an
definitely.
good
I see them
animation.
all to a certain degree,
Oh, it's
but
got a really good bring it home message too. I think it's keep moving forward. Good
yeah,
message there.
yeah. Well, what did you think of the ending of this movie? Do you clearly enjoy it? I assume, right? With the ringing, and I knew
Yes.
at the end, by the way, when he sits with Mister C, uh, I knew that the bell fell out of his pocket and that he would get it as a Christmas present. It all came back to me right near the end.
Okay.
But I think it is really cool that like if you hear it ring, you believe in him, and the fact that his younger sister ends up falling out of that belief just like he did before going on the Polar Express is pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe the sequel will be with his little
It's got to
sister
be his son. You think it'll be a
or his
sister?
son.
Well, it depends if they do a time jump or not.
Maybe his son takes acid.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And the
like
train
not
is like
even.
a nightmare train.
Yeah.
Maybe
Haunted.
they'll lose the rights to Polar Express, and then we'll get like a
we'll get
blood and honey
we'll get
situation.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully that'd be enjoyable. But no,
I'm
I
excited.
enjoy the ending of this. Ties it, brings it home, makes you feel
Yeah,
cozy. Christmas morning. I think that's another thing. Growing up, I really loved Christmas Eve quite a bit, almost more than Christmas Day. Something about the anticipation and just, you go to bed and you get to wake up and Santa came or your gifts came. If you weren't brought up with Santa, maybe it's different.
yeah,
I believed
hmm
in Santa.
yeah.
Um, I did figure it out on my own. Mom fucked up. She
It's
used the
just too
same
loud
wrapping.
putting them down.
No, no, no. She used
Oh,
wrapping paper, and I'm like, I swear I saw that before. And I like went downstairs, found the roll, and I
oh.
start piecing it together. And I'm
Now
like,
you gotta throw
wait
it
a
out
minute.
after.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Why the fuck would
Yeah,
Santa leave behind the wrapping paper? I start piecing it. I was pretty young. I probably wasn't
yeah.
saying the F word. Um, and then I was told that day, and then it was like boom, it all
She had
hit
to
me.
sit you down.
I'm like, wait a minute. So the Easter Bunny's fake as well.
Oh no! It
I'm
all
like,
unraveled.
yeah, it all. I'm like, this whole everything's a
You're
lie.
like you're like at least the tooth fairy's real.
So that one I always questioned. That one never made any sense to me, even as
No,
a kid.
Easter Bunny never made sense to me.
See, really,
Never made sense to me. Yeah.
Tooth Fairy made less sense to me. I'm like, why the hell would it? What's a fairy doing? But I can see the bunny too. Why the hell does a big bunny come with, you
A
know?
huge bunny. How's it get inside with these baskets? Santa Claus was like, oh, well, he comes through your chimney. Although I never had a chimney. I don't have a chimney in my house. So,
So what were you convinced of? See, we have a chimney.
yeah,
It's
I
not.
don't know what I believed. I did believe in him for quite a while, but I think I just
we have.
assumed he walked in. One year, my parents put carrots outside in the backyard to convince us, like,
Ooh.
that the reindeer were out there eating. I was like, whoa. Like, they got me there.
Yeah.
But they always used different wrapping paper. And then my parents, when they would give us a gift from themselves, they would always use like a sticker and put like from mom and dad or whatever. But
Smart.
from Santa, it was just written in marker like Santa. The name was just Santa, or it'd be like just my name, and we would know. Oh,
Mr.
that must be
C.
from Santa, Mr. C. Yeah, so that's how they did it. But I think I
Okay.
just figured it out from like going to school and someone ruining it for me. So it's not as cool as your story.
Oh, yeah, mine I was a little
And then I
detective.
just didn't say anything because I didn't want Santa to stop coming. Although I have two younger siblings.
So I did start saying stuff, and mom was like, "Shut the hell up," because I was going to
Yeah,
ruin it
because
for
your
my
sister.
younger sister. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
So did she
which
go a couple more years believing it,
she
or no?
did. Yeah, and I
Okay.
started like at night. It was kind of funny. Like I'd be up, I think that next year, and like that's when I realized too. Like, well, why do we even put out cookies? The fuck is the point?
Who gets to eat these?
One year, I think
That's funny.
I ate one of them because I knew,
Yeah.
and she didn't yet. So
Well, it was cool
yeah.
because I'm 9 years older than my younger sister, so there was one year I think I was 15 or 16. I got to be in on it, and when she fell
Oh,
asleep, I got to go help put the gifts out, take a bite of the cookie, just to see what the other side was like. I'm always curious, and
dude,
then I got to
it's
live it.
way better not knowing, being on
Yeah,
the ignorance
so
is
much better. You
bliss
could track there. There's
sometimes.
a website where you could track where Santa Claus is at in
Santa
the
Claus,
world.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think the government actually does that. I think that's a
yeah,
.gov website,
it is.
which is
Yeah,
how cool.
that is
We're
really
all in
cool.
on it. It
Yeah,
goes all the way to the
this
top. The
crazy lie.
conspiracy. It goes to the White House all the way to the top.
Yeah.
the Santa mystery.
But you're right, and that's the whole point of the movie too. It's just like that the magic and believing. And
Yeah.
the one nitpick I have with the logic behind this movie, you're probably thinking, well, Josh, is probably when the train is able to steer and perfectly move on ice. No, it's not that. It is that the parents don't hear the ringing. But then where does these Christmas presents come from? You know what I mean? Hey, mom, you're not putting them out. It says Santa Claus on them. How do you not believe in Santa Claus? Do you know what I mean? They ring the bell. The parents ring the bell in the end, but they don't hear the
Yeah.
ringing, so they don't believe in Santa Claus. But
So
Santa Claus gave them their kids gifts, so it's like you didn't
I
give them
think
the gifts.
I'm coming up with this on the spot. As
Yeah,
you get older, you can't hear as high frequencies. Bell would be a high frequency.
really. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not the fact that they don't believe.
I'm coming up with that on the spot. That is no no but I'm going to roll with it. That's my
Maybe
explanation.
they assume the government's just bringing it in and putting them there, and they don't know.
They're on
They
the
don't believe in Santa
.gov.
Claus
They're on the
himself.
.gov Santa tracker, and they're like, they're like, well, he just comes every year. He just stopped bringing us gifts at some point.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my
I
Bell
don't know.
theory right there. You got it live.
All right, let's do some movie trivia here. A couple of these we've mentioned. This one's cool. The film was listed in the 2006 Guinness Book of World Records as the first all-digital capture film where all acted parts were done in digital capture. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool accomplishment. Three different actors played the role of Hero Boy, who's the main character. Tom Hanks does the motion capturing and the adult voice. Daryl Sabara does the voice acting, and Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games does the additional motion capturing. So, I mean, he was young. He was a little kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made sense. I'm like, whoa, how'd they get him for this movie? And I'm like, wait. He's coming off.
2004.
What was that movie he was in? Where it was like a Jumanji ripoff. You know what I'm talking about? Zathura. Yeah. He's coming off that, probably.
I just sent.
That's got to be
right?
older.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Because I just sent that the other day, and I was like, "Do any of you guys know about this?" I loved.
I think Zathura is better than Jumanji, in my opinion. I know that's a hot take. I don't know why. I watched it more as a kid.
I'm wrong. Oh yeah, no, he is in it. Josh Hudson.
Yes.
Josh.
Yeah, he's like the main. He's the older brother.
Yeah,
and so
the older brother.
Spoiler alert for this. He wishes his young brother not to be around anymore. And I am an older brother with a younger brother who annoyed me as a kid, and it just hit home. It got me emotional. Every time I watched it, I was probably nice to him for the next day or so. So yeah, I think that movie is better than.
Watch
Jumanji,
out for a Zathura rewind review coming soon. I just picked that up on DVD actually.
Oh really? Good snag.
Because I was worried that that one. It looks like it's actually on Netflix. We might have to do it.
Okay.
I was worried that one would not be on streaming services in the future, and I would like forget about it as an adult. So I try to pick up movies like that now that I'll, were significant when I was a kid that I will definitely forget about as I'm older.
He is such an asshole in that movie too. The character that he plays,
dick.
Such an asshole. But as a kid, I didn't think he was that bad. I'm like, well, he's in the right. But now as an adult, I'm like, oh, you're an asshole.
A little tangent there.
Yeah. The film used 3D motion capture techniques to digitally record the actors' physical performances before skinning them with their digital forms. The children's roles were acted by adults using oversized props to get movement right. So I wonder why they didn't use kids. Maybe they're just harder to direct in the moving. But like, there are kid actors and stuff, so I don't know. I think that's kind of odd. Because you could have had the same kid actor doing all these different motion stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe it's easier for them. The movie is based on the book, The Polar Express. Arthur Chris von Alzenberg also wrote Jumanji and Zathura. There we go.
Come on.
Okay, and so he did write the book and the movie, so I was right about that.
Did you not read the facts before you wrote them down?
I didn't read the whole thing. No. I wanted to mention that I saw that it was based on a book, so I wanted to make sure
That's
I
funny.
mentioned that.
Really all right, so that wasn't a tangent. We were on
No,
topic.
that's related to what the movie is. Yeah,
We were bringing
100%.
it home.
Yeah, we said this earlier. Warner Brothers' first computer animated film. Locomotive in the movie is based on the Pierre Marquette 1225, a restored steam locomotive uh, located in Awosa, Michigan. Do you know where that is? Awosa?
I think it's
Owosso?
Owassa. I think it's Owassa.
Owasso?
I believe so, and I want to say it's a little bit northeast or northwest of us. I believe it's a
Okay.
ways away from us, though.
Okay.
But I do
Um,
actually I've probably I think it's near. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend I
well,
do.
many of the
It's at
film's
least an
train
hour
sound
away.
effects, many of the train's sound effects are recordings from an actual train, which is
Oh,
cool.
how cool! That's kind of neat.
The premiere for this movie was held in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is the author's hometown.
Oh,
That's pretty sweet. We could have went to it
we
when
could.
we were 5. During early development, it suggested that the film would have been made into live action, but the director himself claimed that a live action version felt unfeasible and said that it would look awful and it would be impossible because it'd cost 1 billion instead of 160 million. So he
I
said
think
earlier.
he just didn't want to do it.
1 billion's a stretch. I
That's
don't think it'd be
steep.
that much. It probably
He
would
had
look like shit.
for $1 billion. $1 billion in 2004. Better yet, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think it could have been done for less and still looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you got to think a decent chunk of it, you're in a train or you're on top of a train where it's kind of dark around you.
yeah.
Again, I think the most expensive part would just be maybe the on the lake part or the actual North Pole. I don't
The
think it
lake
would be a billion
the lake part would
with the train.
be that would be quite expensive.
That'd be expensive. They could do it. They could do it now. Should they?
They
No.
could.
Will they? Hopefully not. But maybe.
I don't know.
All right, you want to get into scores?
Uh,
I can go
I
first if you
guess.
want me to.
Please.
Okay. I want to say for the record, I am shocked at the Rotten Tomato scores. 56% critic, 64% audience. I am higher than that. Not by a ton, but I am
Okay.
higher than that. I'm going to go with the 77%.
Still a bit low for my liking.
Still a bit low for you, I understand. It's just I now as an adult, I just can't get past the animation style. It bothered me till the end of the movie. It can be a little cheesy sometimes, but I think as a kid, it is a really good kids movie. I really do believe that. I think it is a good Christmas movie. I do still consider it a classic, but it's just not my jam. It's not something I watch during Christmas time. Again, the last time I watched it was in high school because a teacher turned it on. That's really the only reason. But and I don't even mind an animated movie. Again, like I watched those 60s, 70s, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosted Snowman. Like I watch those and I enjoy those. So I don't think it's just because it's animated. Or Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer is a great one. But I do choose like a Home Alone or Christmas Vacation, which I know those are a different rating than a G rating.
A little bit.
But yes, regardless, this is the Christmas movie I pick. So I'm still going with the 77. I again shocked by the score, and that's 100,000 plus ratings from audiences for 64%. I know it's hated by some people. I think Aiden hates it. Pretty sure, or it might be Brian. One of the guys on here hates this movie, and I think it's just because the style of it or whatever. But yeah.
All right. Well, like I said and have said, try to watch this one every year. It's Christmas classic for me. But I can understand the critiques behind it. It's not immune to them. But with that said, it's special to me. So I'm gonna go with a 90.
Okay.
and I think it deserves it. Personally,
Yeah.
I could see where it gets its hate, though. I mean, the animation is cheesy. Um, the fact that they're saying $1 billion for a live one is the one thing that's mind-boggling to me. I was trying to do the inflation calculator to see what $1 billion would have been in 2004, but it says that number is too big.
Really? That's terrible.
It only let me do 100 million. So
What was that?
I think it was almost double.
Okay.
So
It's probably 2 billion.
2 billion roughly.
Yeah.
No way. Is there any movie that's cost that much?
Avatar, maybe.
Avatar, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know about $2 billion for the Polar Express.
I'm pretty sure the newest Captain America movie that's coming out next year is like in the $420 million range, which is one of the most expensive. Before that is the newest Indiana Jones. So, but even now, it's like, yeah, we're in the $400 range for a couple of these movies. But back then, even $1 billion is just extreme. I think he just said that because he didn't want to do a live action one. And
100%.
he's right. It probably would have looked bad and probably would have done worse because this is a cult classic. It is a classic Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Regardless if you don't like it or not, it is a classic Christmas movie.
100%.
So, yeah. And that's why I went before you. I knew you'd have a higher score. Didn't know if I thought, if I had a guess, I thought you were going 87, 88. But you went 90.
I'm going 90.
It's one of your favorites, so I understand. But yeah, that was our rewind on the Polar Express. Again, thought we should do it because it is its 20th anniversary. It actually came out November 10th, 2004, so we missed it by 3.5 weeks, give or take.
Barely.
Yeah, but it's Christmas time, so we wanted to do a Christmas movie. I think next week maybe we do Wicked, or maybe we do Moana 2.
Maybe. We shall see.
You still think Wicked will make $1 billion though? Does Moana 2 scare you?
I'm not a big musical guy, and I enjoyed Wicked.
Okay, Moana 2's got 400 million already. It's not even been a week. Just saying.
We shall see.
All right, we'll see. I mean, I would say, hey, I'm on your side, Andrew. I think Wicked will beat it in box office, but then we just saw Inside Out 2 go bonkers and make like $1.7 billion. So if that movie can do that, then Moana 2 can do it, which could take money away from Wicked.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, too, Wicked's a part 1 now, I'm hearing. I heard it's part 1.
It is.
Okay, I didn't know they were doing that.
Gonna...
Isn't it 3 hours?
It is 3 hours.
Okay. I will end up going to see it.
From what I've heard, it's a theater kid's Infinity War.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Infinity War was a better movie, but I'm more in that.
So, are you excited to see part 2? Is it like a cliffhanger? You don't have to say, but are you excited to see the next one?
Yes, you have to see part 2. They leave it on a cliffhanger.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Right. Have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Good.
Do you have to see Wizard of Oz before seeing Wicked or no?
No, but after seeing Wicked, you might think that
Wicked is a prequel, right? I know nothing about it.
So it's basically, someone will probably correct me. It's basically happening right before, like
Dorothy gets there.
Yes, like right before.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.